the communication network has been broken, faculty were unable to access the information and make contributions. Next one, eating well to the target audience analysis.
Well, for the outreach strategy, our target audience is EHBG employees. And according to Beyond the Babel, the action equation organizes what leaders need to communicate to employees. So we will use the action equation to analyze our target audience. First, for the know part, we need to let them know what she is doing and why she is doing it. And things according to the case, most of employers don't know her role, and so explain the strategy, the employers can well understand her why she is always focused on actional activities and how this strategy impact on the employer's daily job. For example, in the case, there are actional activities called Village for Families and Children project, and this project offered more opportunities and chance to the faculties, staff, and students to have a working experience. And also, we need to provide a clear guideline to them so that they can know what things they should do to push the strategy. And for the feeling part, we want them to feel a sense of belonging, like be a part of this university so they can support each other as a family. And based on the article from John Finney, high-effective companies promote two-way communication between senior leaders and employees. In this case, we need to engage employees in this strategy. For example, ask them for advice and share their experience so that the faculties can feel their value to the university and the university is need them. So all of this feeling, understanding, and guideline will all lead to the do part is to let the employers to push the outreach strategy. And for the long-term or vertical communication, we will continue to maintain the communication with top management. In this case, it's the chief academic officer and university president. In order to let them give permission and support to Dean Watson's future proposal for the due part, and also help to the top management need to help Dean Watson transfer information while Watson is absent. For example, she might need to travel to other place. While she is doing that, the top management should offer the guideline to the employers to explain that why she is absent and what the employers should do to keep push the strategy. And also they will this will let them feel satisfied with Watson's work and things. They know what she's doing and they know she is thinking about the universities. So this is our target audience part, and next Richard and Shui will tell the recommendation part.
Yes, so based on the target audience and the weaknesses we mentioned before, we launched several recommendations, not only for the outreach strategy, but also for the long-term perspective. Based on the vertical communication network, there are several audience, the university president, chief academic officer, and EHBJ employees. We select three groundswell communication objectives: listening, talking, and supporting, because we hope that they need have the deep understanding with each other, and Dean Wilson will have the support from this target audience. We also think this communication media can help her to do it well: the internet, wiki, and the shared access.
Alright, so one of the first recommendations we're going to tell Dean Wilson is to make sure she implements a new intranet system. Now this intranet system is important because it's exclusively available to employees internally. So only employees have access to this. And with this intranet, we're including a wiki page and a shared access for document sharing access capability within the intranet page. And so let me kind of briefly describe wiki in a little bit more detail. The term wiki comes from a Hawaiian word that means quick. When thinking about the term wiki in the workplace, doing things quickly is pretty important. So this technology, this groundswell technology, will inevitably allow things to get done more quickly using these two bullet points right here, collaboration and consistency. Wiki pages are a great collaboration tool. According to Groundswell, companies found that wikis are useful internally as a collaboration tool for teams working on documents or specifications. So in the long-term scheme of things, when it comes to vertical communication, they are able to collaborate on individual projects, individual meetings, any specific documents. Because of the shared access, everyone has access to that document at the same exact time, in real time, virtually, and can all work together on these projects, being more collaborative because of the internet with the wiki and shared access. Another example that can relate directly to Dean Wilson's strategy is consistency. The reason it offers consistency is, so for example, if Dean Wilson wrote a summary of her strategy and decided to upload it to the wiki page, all of her employees would have access to it, including faculty members, staff, department heads, and even the university president. And what this allows is for her message to be consistent throughout. So whenever leadership uses the people channel to communicate Dean Wilson's strategy, they can always refer back to her summary page that she posted on the wiki and use that to remember exactly what she wanted her employees to know. So I wanted to use a case from Groundswell to show how important using these three technologies, wiki, shared access, and intranet, is with companies. A CEO of Razorfish realized that this was a Groundswell technology and wanted to use it to his advantage. So he decided to implement a new intranet, use the wiki pages, and he used them exclusively to communicate with his employees for his employees to collaborate on other items, and he turned his company into a $1.3 billion company with over 11,000 employees who all use these technologies in their everyday work. The most important aspect to remember here is using these three technologies together creates a bottom-up communication tool. Yiding mentioned earlier that two-way communication is very important in organizations, and this allows for the two-way communication to happen. So basically, let's go back to the example of Dean Wilson posting her summary. People, if given access, are allowed to comment, ask questions, specifically on that posting. So they're allowed real-time interaction. So as soon as that posting goes up, employees, regardless of their level, would be able to communicate, ask questions, and leadership, Dean Wilson, upper leadership, would be able to see their comments and their questions using the two-way communication tool. Another recommendation that we give Dean Wilson is video conferencing. This will link to the listening and talking objectives from the reading. And video conferencing is a very important tool. According to a Towers-Watson report, 78% of employees are starting to use digital media like video conferencing in their everyday work environment. So that just gives even more support to why Dean Wilson should use it, because other companies are using it, and it's a competitive advantage. So video conferencing has a very high media richness. It comes in second place on the media richness scale. Just as a reminder, media richness is how much immediate feedback that specific communication tool can provide. So video conferencing, two-way communication, can provide a lot of feedback. You can hear real-time questions, see facial expressions and nonverbals, and it will allow Dean Wilson, when she's communicating, to realize and read the audience that she's communicating to and realize if there's any nonverbal cues or anything like that that her audience may have. It also allows the audience to think of questions on the spot after she's done communicating. One more thing. I would just want to use a reminder to say that these tools are very important in helping fix the vertical communication issues that they're having. However, they are tools that should be used by the people who are involved in the people channel. So we need to remember that the people channel is important in being able to implement these tools correctly in the first place.
Yeah, so continue with the recommendation part. Based on the objective of talking, listening, and supporting, we recommend she should have more scheduled regular face-to-face meetings, because based on the case, she rarely on campus and do not have the meeting with her faculty members, so we think she should have the practical insights and the instant response and feedbacks. So we recommend she should have the face-to-face meetings, because based on the Goldman, in face-to-face communication, people watch each other's expressions to monitor reactions to what's being said and heard. Even when some words are missed, observing the expression on a speaker's face can help the listener follow the conversation. And another reason of this is the face-to-face conversation have the highest media richness, so we should think this recommendation is reasonable for her. And another one is based on the objective of listening, she should also enhance the performance review process, because based on the case, the performance review process is not ample. So we think she should do the yearly performance review process. It's reasonable for her and for the all departments. And she also do the enhanced participation, where we recommend that she should do the incentive system. For example, she should give the rewards to those who have the high engagement of the process and evaluation. And she also can do the performance scorecard to stimulate her employees to have the high engagement of this progress. And based on to solve the problem of the wordy paper, the self-evaluation paper, she should civilize the self-evaluation to attract more employees to do the self-evaluation. And we also think all of these recommendations need the supportive material tools. We recommend two. One is the internet, and another is the email. She should use email to remind the employees to do the process or the performance review process and self-evaluation. And she also should post all of this on the internet to remind them. Yeah, that's all of our presentation.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for watching.
Okay.
Yeah.